Hello, guys. I'm James. That is Alex over there, and we are the Brawlcasters, the voices of Flex Fight series, and we are here to call some of the internet's craziest fights. Alex, talk a little bit more about what we do here.
So what we do is we find the best fights on the internet, we break them down, we try to give some constructive criticism and not only how the fighters get better, how the organization get better, how everybody get better in general. That's what we want to do. Everybody get better.
Exactly. And we like to have some fun and make some jokes while we do it. So, fighters, thanks for letting us make those jokes at your expense. We have recently stumbled across BFL, the Backyard Fight League, and these guys seem to be doing a decent level of production. The first couple of fights that we saw, not the greatest level, but they seem to be getting better and better every time. So
yeah, that evolution, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So with that in mind, let's get this particular fight underway. Here we go in 3 and 2 and 1. Gotta love the opening graphics here.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, BFL. Good job, guys. What stood out to me on this one was Damian Dirty Dame Rodriguez's. His name, he has his name in his nickname, and you gotta love that.
Yeah. Now I like we got a nice cage here. No mat.
Big cage.
Yeah, big cage. No mat, but you know.
Yeah, that's the. I don't love that. I don't love no mat. We saw the canvas at the last fight. I'd like to see that again. But this is a pretty huge cage. This is like a UFC 1 type of cage.
I think we might have went back in time from the previous fight that we decided to call to this
Probably.
one. I missed the early fights that we call from BFL. The guys were walking out of locker rooms that were camping tents.
Yeah.
That I loved. I loved that.
I think that's a nice aesthetic you can have. I think they should keep that because that speaks to like them, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still on this cage. This is a ginormous cage. This is really like UFC 1 cage.
And in the last fight we called, we had some nice graphics to let us know who was who. So I'm hoping that we get more of the same here because it is not looking at this moment like we're going to get that.
I believe the gentleman on our left, yeah,
there we go.
that's Kiptoo. Yeah, I was right. Kiptoo and then Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Dirty Dame.
Kiptoo is out of the blue corner, Rodriguez out of the red.
Yep.
Now, Rodriguez, significant height advantage, but smothering it immediately. Nice work from the clinch here, though. Nice knees to the body. Really, really pulling Kiptoo into them. Defense isn't really a thing. Doesn't seem anyway.
Yeah, I think they don't. I think at least Kiptoo doesn't have an understanding of the clinch and where to put his arms in terms of underhooks and things like that. He's just kind of like, I just got to grab onto Rodriguez here.
And Rodriguez really used it well. Kept his forearms in front. Nice digging front kick to the body here. But Rodriguez throwing very wide, so when Kiptoo does throw back, he lands pretty cleanly.
Yeah, Rodriguez also has to be careful gassing himself out there. That adrenaline dump that we see in a lot of early fights.
Yeah, now Rodriguez carrying the hands awfully low. I'd like to see it's working for him, but again, every time Kiptoo throws back, he lands. That does not bode well for Rodriguez long term, but these knees do not bode well for Kiptoo long term.
Yeah, and Kiptoo, the moment he gets hit, he kind of pops that mouth guard out for a second.
I think he was complaining that one of them went low, but if the referee doesn't call it, it didn't happen. Kiptoo on top now, taking real advantage of the scramble here. Good ground and pound. And again, Rodriguez really not doing much about it until there.
Yeah, Rodriguez kind of pulled guard.
Yeah.
Which is super interesting to do.
Yeah, I just felt like maybe he thought he had the finish there and he wasn't really paying much attention to his pace. That's disgusting. That piece Rodriguez fell out. They put it right back in.
Shout out to Kiptoo letting him put it back in.
Kiptoo landing to the front of the face when the side of the jaw was open. But see, Rodriguez, he doesn't understand the guard. You have to be either all the way in or all the way out.
Yeah,
that's the end
nice
of round one.
sportsmanship from both fighters, though.
Absolutely. So Rodriguez, if we hit the ground again, he's got to understand that with the guard, you have to be either pull the man head to your chest or be out where your feet are on his hips, especially in a case where he can ground and pound you.
Yeah, he's either got to get an overhook or kind of, again, with that clinch work, right? Just keep their head to you, and you can use your elbows to avoid those strikes, work some attacks from your guards, things like that. We also got to talk about the nice Bass Pro hat that the referee got on.
Yeah, I mean, that is a nice hat.
Pointing at the ground.
I think he thought he hurt Kiptoo there, and he was trying to be like, I got you, I got you.
Kiptoo doing, what we call white belt, right? Just holding on over the head for dear life there with the overhook, and you got to be careful doing that. We call it white belt for a reason, man.
Yeah, it doesn't do any favors for you in terms of wrestling or in favor of your clinch striking. Now, Rodriguez basically bullying him to the ground right there. I wouldn't call that the cleanest takedown ever, but just use the superior arm positioning you had to muscle his man to the ground. Now landing short little shots. And now Kiptoo gets his chance to do something gross.
He holding on to the nose, trying to smother his opponent.
Is he going for the mother's milk? I'm a fan.
I think he's going for mother's milk. Wow. But he doesn't quite have the right head position. You need him right dead center in the middle of your pecs, let's say. Mm-hmm. And you can just smother them.
Yeah, it honestly one of my favorite ways to submit people.
Yeah, it's one of those that you're like, that can't really work, but it does. Wow!
Kiptoo just a bit of explosiveness to get himself out of there, and now pouring shots on. And that goes back to the wide open defense of Rodriguez. His hands down low, and it really anything that Kiptoo could get close enough to land, he does. Because look at how the hands are just reaching, the chin's wide up in the air for Rodriguez. Those things do not bode well for you to not get hit. Like right there, that punch, I mean, he got a push notification that punch was coming, and it still landed.
Kiptoo has to put his strikes together, right? Stop backing up. He keeps backing up to the cage too much, and he's not quite putting his punches together to land in combinations. If he does that, I think he could land really well and maybe finish the fight.
Now, the question is, has the referee yet graduated high school? Because it does not look like it.
No, I don't know if he realizes the glove, when there's a hole in it, you're not supposed to keep making a bigger hole.
That doesn't do anything for you.
At that point, just take off the glove.
Yeah. Then you can go Michael Jackson, the one glove look. It's brave.
It's not a bad look. You can be the one glove ref. You got to think, if they're judging this right now, Rodriguez has to be up 2-0.
I would believe so. Now, it looks like the cornerman did address the technical deficiencies of Rodriguez. His hands were up very high, but now he's closing the distance, and the hands are getting low again, which does not bode well.
You see that spinning strike? Just throwing it.
Yeah.
Just twirl and put your hands up and see what happens. I like it.
Exactly. And meanwhile, we got somebody's drunken uncle in their plaid shirt, cage side.
And somebody's worried aunt.
Yeah, she is very worried.
She looks like she'd argue with you over any parking spot.
Yes.
Meanwhile, she's like past the line. She's past the line like, hey, your car's too close to mine. Like, miss.
You are clearly in my parking spot. Now, Rodriguez hips real far away, but he's not yet delivering any strikes. Good cage control, though. I like his pressing against the cage right in front of the high school sweethearts right there. The gentleman in the gray tank top or t-shirt, I should say, and his sweetheart next to him.
Is it good cage control, or is Kiptoo just not doing anything to get off the cage?
I think it's a bit of that, too. Kiptoo just doesn't seem to know what to do.
Oh, Rodriguez with a vicious forearm.
Yeah, and
Kiptoo hated that.
No, that's not fun.
He's kind of doing like almost a standing Ezekiel with the cage.
Yeah, in gi jiu-jitsu, they call it a bread cutter choke, where you grab the lapel and you crank down. And he's got that like with the trap.
I don't know nothing about gi, bro. No gi forever.
I know a lot of terminology.
Yeah, I know. That's all. I stick to my no gi stuff because.
Well, you're a 10th Planet guy, so you have to memorize all the weird names they give stuff.
Oh man, yeah, we got a lot of like crackhead control is a real thing.
Yes. Speaking of crackheads, let's look around the crowd there.
Oh.
All right, looks like we're going to a decision. Rodriguez seems pretty confident, and I would agree with him.
Yeah. What?
Whoa, interesting. So I'm going to pause this here so we can read this here. When we first started BFL, we had a rule that if you thought you were robbed in a fight, you can submit an appeal, and we will have it reviewed. In this case, an appeal was submitted, and we reviewed the fight and decided that Daniel Kiptoo was the winner of this fight. But for here on out, this rule is no longer a thing in BFL. We feel it's unfair a fighter can get their hand raised on the night and then possibly have their win overturned later on. Sorry about all the controversy, but we had to give the Kiptoo team a fair review since they submitted the appeal before the rule change. BFL commissioner.
So I'm gonna go on. Let's just be honest. Rodriguez won that fight.
Now here's the question though. Because of this disclaimer here, did we have the names backwards the whole time? That's possible. That's real possible. Full disclosure, folks, we can't hear the audio of these fights while we're recording this. So when they read in the fighters, we don't know who's who. So we have to go by the graphics. So
something.
It's entirely possible that they had we had the names backwards this entire time.
Maybe. I would be interested to see. Let me look at the comments really quick.
I'm going to play the video again here and just see if anything else continues here. I mean, that could be on us. That could simply be the fact that we can't hear the audio when we're recording. Anything in the comments?
No, I'm there. I want to see something.
I split decision.
Oh, so we had the names wrong. So, yeah, Dirty Dame was the lighter skinned gentleman. Daniel Kiptoo was the one we thought won it. We had the names wrong there.
Yep.
What I would say is, I agree. So Daniel Kiptoo did win. They had Dirty Dame. They announced him as the victor, and eventually decided Kiptoo did win. So they got the decision right.
Yeah,
after the appeal process.
It just seems that the judges did the same thing we did and got the names backwards.
It has to be, because in no way did that gentleman, Dirty Dame, win that fight. Excuse me. That's like a robbery in the worst way I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of this fight. Remember, make sure you guys have subscribed. Get notified every time that we drop a new episode. Click that notification bell. Other than that, guys, if you have a fight you want us to commentate, leave it down in the comments below, but make sure there is a referee. Other than that, my friends, any closing thoughts, Alex?
No, guys. Keep doing you. Appeal those fights if they don't go your way. And please, fight organizations, just put the little graphics so we know who's who.
Exactly. Well, and put them on the correct side, because that's what messed us up. Other than that, guys, until next time, brawl on.